Legend Tenable here, and today we've got a Rating Your Doomstack video covering a Doomstack of Itza, where it's got 18 Sora Scar veterans on Carnosaurs, and I believe they all have the Pompous trait, so the enemy leadership is basically down to 0. Now, this will be largely comparing to what I've declared to be the strongest possible army you can create in the game, which is very similar to this. It's using the Pompous trait as much as possible, but it's with Skink Priests on Engine of the God Stegodons. Now, the reason why I think that the Skink Priests are better in a like a spam Doomstack like this is largely due to magic. They're all able to feed tons of winds of magic into the general, who's able to constantly heal them. Now, we've still got a Life Wizard here, which is of course the right thing to do, and he'll be able to heal them, but he won't be able to heal them quite as quickly as the other one. So we'll have to see here if this is able to route units faster than what the other army did. Obviously, Auto Resolve says we've got this in the bag, no problem, but we want to see how well it is in the actual fight. Obviously, there is no chance in hell we could lose. I could really just AFK our way to victory here. But, you know, I'm curious, because we've tried out the Ancient Stegodon Engine of the Gods, and I'd like to see how this Carnosaur one works. But Pompous is such a powerful trait if you get lots of it. Alright, so we got reinforcement. Oh, they've got reinforcements coming in over here. We need to make sure that he's safe. So, see, this is another thing as well. Because these guys are quite quick, but he's really slow, you'd need to protect the general. Oh, this one's on a Pterodon. Okay. Yeah. Which is why you want everything to be roughly around the same speed. Man, if you can get Skink Priests with Life Wizards, that'd be so much better. But, you know, that would be so overpowered. Alright, I'm just gonna go destroy that army real quick. Keep these guys not too far back. Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother using the magic. You just stay here. I just want to see what these guys can do. So, yes, because on very hard battle difficulty, as soon as you get onto the battle, they get a whole bunch of leadership modifiers. I can pretty much route them straight away, even on very hard battle difficulty. But yeah, look. This is I gotta get back over there. Protect the Slan. He's already about to rout, but yeah, we've got to get rid of him. If we can kill him, that'll get rid of a huge leadership buff for them. Minus 10 leadership. Minus 16 at first, though. But we've got to kill him. This is the problem. He's... Okay, try to get around him. Get around him, get around him, get around him. Don't let him escape. Good, got him. Okay, that means they just got a huge leadership debuff. Kill the general and watch the army just... Oh my god! I didn't need to do anything. Just snipe the general. Oh my god, Jesus Christ. Now we just need some death magic or something for a leadership debuff globally here. Thing is... Oh my god, minus 11 leadership. It's because they're all discouraged by their own routing. Right, how about you go over there? My god. They probably won't rally because they're all causing leadership debuffs on each other, but we just need to do it over here. Just one needs to get a debuff. Yeah, I was trying to dodge that, it didn't happen. Just one unit needs to get a debuff, and it should start a chain route. And then, is that it? Like, as soon as one unit starts routing, are these expendable? Yeah, they're expendable, so they're not going to care. And then... more units coming in here. Because, yeah, if we have a look at the things that are causing it, they're basically coming on with 0 base leadership, right? But then the difficulty modifier, you can't get rid of that. Well, with Pompous, so they come on with 10 leadership. If their flanks are secure, they get an additional 5, and if their lord is nearby, they might get an additional 6. So you've just got to be able to cause like a minus 15 leadership. We've caused minus 10. If you're playing on normal difficulty, this battle would be over, right? But on very hard battle difficulty, Lizardmen don't have access to any spells that cause map-wide debuffs, do they? I mean, the High Elves would have been a better enemy to go up against just because they have way higher leadership than shitty Greenskins. Because I remember on that other battle that we did with the Stegodon Engine of the Gods, the battle went on a bit longer because their leadership hadn't been reduced down to 0 at the start of the battle. So it didn't take a lot, but it took something to get them to rout. So this is a lot easier army, just because a lot weaker of an enemy, because they're greenskins. And then when this guy comes on, doesn't he provide a leadership debuff? Sorry, buff for the entire army? It's only 4. But yeah, Pompous can only get their base leadership down to 0. Can't get it down to negative. Ah, what am I doing? So, alright, they should be fine on their own for the time being, because thanks to killing the general, like, they get close and just rout straight away. But I don't need them all together. Don't need them all together. Yeah, they get close and then rout. It would be good if we could kill that and get rid of this. Because yeah, if you just get like 1 or 2 units with Pompous, it's really not going to make that big of a difference. But when you get like 18 or 19 of them, and you get enemy leadership down to 0, that's where it gets ridiculous. Because there's no cap on those sort of abilities, because they're quite static. As in, they don't, they're not affected by the trait that came before it. So it's not like 4% of their leadership. I think that's the army losses, is it? No, because this one's shattered. Quite a lot of them have shattered now. And if all of their forces even come onto the battlefield... Oh, yep. Yep. it's ridiculously strong. So, naturally, I'm going to rate this pretty low. Like, it's an inconvenient army to recruit, for sure, I get that. But because it's just so ridiculously powerful, it sort of makes up for it. Yeah, alright, well, we don't need to run them down any further. Oh, well, this is, I guess, another downside, is that because we didn't kill them, you still got to fight them again next turn. And then if you defeat them there, they'll get wiped out. You don't even need to kill them. But yeah, just, we don't have to kill the army with Pompous army like this. It was definitely easier than the High Elves to fight, for sure. This guy must have some more Pompous units in the area, because even the Black Orcs only had like 2 leadership when they came onto the battlefield. So I'm suspecting there might be more Pompous guys around here. That's a lot of loot considering we really didn't do much damage. I don't think we need to do it again. You know, we got the point. Them being on force march is good though, because we only need to win to wipe them out. But yeah, this army here is basically unbeatable. The only way that the AI could possibly beat something like this is by bringing also something like Dread Incarnate or Pompous or Nurgle's Foul Stench. But because these guys have such high leadership anyway, they would need like 30 to 40 units to get that leadership down to 0. And then because they each buff each other's leadership in the battle, it would be difficult for the AI is never gonna do that. They don't trait farm the way that human players can do. Not everyone does it. Giving these guys items is almost useless as well because you just don't end up using them. But yeah, all right. Rating this army here, it's obviously a 10 out of 10. Even though it's very inconvenient to recruit, it's so ridiculously powerful that it makes it worth it. If you can in your campaign farm the Pompous trait and you get to this point, highly recommend doing it. I mean, unless you really don't want to cheese, fair enough. It's very, very powerful. Sure, it's inconvenient, but I think it's made up for by just it's unbeatable. There is no army in the game. Oh, hang on, not necessarily, because if it goes up against an all Slayer army, it might struggle a bit with that because Carnosaurs are not great against Slayers. You'd have to do a lot of cycle charging, and this is where the other army really would have done better against Slayers because you could just use magic to get rid of them. Like if you got the Slayers into a blob and then just did like 20 of the solar beam cannon things, you would have eliminated them that way. Plus you'd be healing constantly. So that's where, only in that sort of situation there, that's where the advantage of the Stegodon's Engine of the Gods spam would benefit, but it's so rare to go up against an all Slayer army. But apart from that, this would basically handle anything, just except for the Unbreakable. You know, if you go up against steam tanks, obviously these will handle steam tanks easily. A Carnosaur can easily destroy a steam tank. Anyway, that's the end of this one. I just wanted to see how that fared up against the Ancient Stegodons. I still think that the Ancient Stegodons is better against higher tier armies, but this is definitely better against lower tier armies, especially if you're able to general snipe, which is something that the Engine of the Gods one, they're not great at general sniping. Anyway, that's the end of this one. Hope you enjoyed it, and appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next time, fuckers. Later.